Once upon a time, there was a baby boy. He was born in the spring of '71 in the hills of Beverly. And he was raised inside the halls of a big Spanish castle by a kindly clown king and a fair-haired, generous queen. He spent most of his time frolicking around, swimming in the pool and opening up presents.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Gets worse.
Somehow I gathered that.
Anyhow, one day, many decades later, as the baby boy was on the verge of becoming a manly man, the queen fell ill and died. And the king unraveled like a cheap sweater. He was lost at sea.
Then what happened?
Well, one day, he gave an appearance in town. He stood up on the stage and made people laugh. When he got down off the stage and into his carriage, a witch followed him and got in the carriage. She took him by the hand and said to the old man, "I know just what you need." The man said,
Yeah? What's that?
and the witch said, "A wife. That's what you need, a wife. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you." And then the old man married her. And she bit him like a black widow spider, and her venom seeped into his kindly, fatherly heart and turned it to stone and made him forget what it meant to be a dad, to be a man, to be a Stan. Yeah.
Then what happened?
Well, the witch convinced him to kick the little prince out of the castle. When he did, he locked himself out. And a little tiny golden key fell out of his back pocket. The witch saw it. The old man hadn't heard it clank to the floor, but she did. She went to grab it. It was the key to the castle. And when she did, her hands turned to stone and then to dust. You see, a spell had been put on that key.
By who?
By the fair-haired Golden Queen. Only one person can break that spell, Donavan.
Who's that?
I'm getting to that part. Anyway, the little prince took his pony and rode into the forest of darkness and sadness and gloom and loss. Spent a lot of years there, foraging around, looking for food, looking for answers, looking for love. And one day, at the edge of the river, he came upon an old man, and the old man said,
"Little boy, come here."
and the little boy said,
"I'm frightened, and I'm quite hungry. I haven't had anything to eat in quite some time. Do you have anything to eat?"
and the old man said,
"No, I don't. But would you happen to know about an old castle at the edge of town?"
and the little boy said,
"No, I wouldn't."
and then the old man said,
"I think you might."
and just then, the old man turned into a wizard and grew a long white beard, long white hair, and pale blue eyes. He was quite tall and wore robes of green velvet, and he looked the boy right in the eye, and he said,
Listen, boy. You do know about that castle. And it's high time you went back.
and the little boy said,
I can't find my way back. I've been trying for years. I don't know how. I've lost my way.
and the wizard touched him on the head. And when he did, the little boy felt a very sharp pain, followed by an unfamiliar feeling of worth. And when he looked down at his body, it had changed. He'd become a man. And he opened his mouth to speak, and an unfamiliar voice erupted from his lips, and it sounded like this.
Tell me more about that castle.
And then the wizard said,
Get up on the horse and ride home.
and the man said,
What horse? I don't see any horse.
and just then the wizard, with a single wave of his wand, made a brilliant white horse appear named Maximilian. A white horse with black spots. How you liking the story?
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's partially true, you know.
I do know.
Yeah. Anyway, the man was astounded, and he looked at the horse. He put his boot into the stirrup and climbed back on. He turned to the wizard and said,
What about that witch? Is she still there?
and the wizard said,
She might be. Take this golden coin and put it in your back pocket. Look at it closely.
The man thanked the wizard, got on the horse, and rode like hell back home. And on the way, he looked at the coin, and there, glimmering in the golden sunlight, was the coin inscribed with a word.
What did the word say?
It said, forgive. Forgive. And the old man and the little boy, the golden-haired queen, the wizard, the horse, they're all inside you. Ride home. Ride home.
That's a nice ending.
That's not the ending. It's just the prologue. Just the prologue.